What's up, Wargamers? Welcome back to World of Wargaming. I'm Isaiah. Today we find ourselves in the full swing of spooky season, and I find myself having not played enough spooky games. So we're going to play a game of the Silver Bayonet today. Good old Napoleonic Gothic spoopiness. Before we do that, if you've not considered smashing all the buttons, please consider hitting those, as it does help spread the word about the channel as well as these games that we play on the channel. And let's go take a look at the board, the scenario rules, of which there are a few, for this game of the Silver Bayonet. Eventually, the trees thin and the forest gives way to a rocky ascent. The light dims as you struggle to the top, the sun dropping below the horizon. In the last glow of day, you look out over a long ridgeline with sheer drops on either side. In the distance, at the other end of the ridge, you can just make out the jagged ruins of the watchtower. As you start across that windy ridge, the light fades completely, and dark shapes emerge to flap about the rocks. Here, my friends, is our table for the Spine, which is scenario 2 in the Castle Fear supplement for the Silver Bayonet. So in this scenario, we're playing on a 1x3 super narrow board. We start within 4 inches of this short table edge. Our goal is to walk off of that table edge. Pretty much every monster has flying, so they always count as having line of sight to me. If I take damage from one of them, I get moved in a random direction 2 inches. If I come into contact with the edge of the board, then I must make a speed check with target number 14, or I fall off the mountain. Okay, that sounds like just tons of fun, so try to stay in the middle of the board as best we can. Also, because of the winds up here, all shooting attacks are at -1. At the end of turn 2, we will get a Vrickalakos in the middle of this table edge, and including every turn, including turn 2, we roll on the Spine table. Let's get into it. Up first, we're going to have Egon take a shot at this bat and then move. The giant bats are defense 12. Oh, no. No, that's just a miss. And then I'll move. We'll take the same shot. You can do a little bit better. Oh, he does a lot better. Oh, that was almost a crit. Anyways, that's going to be Power Weapon, which is the blue dice, and that'll be 9 damage. They have... So that will eliminate that bat, and then Mikhail is going to move down towards where that bat was. We're going to have the Boris take a shot right here. 6 plus 2... I'm not going to use a Fate dice yet, because there's going to be bigger, badder things coming. Go to the monster phase, where they all count as having line of sight to me, so they're all going to be swarming towards me. There might be 1 or 2 that get to me. We'll see what happens. But this is where they're starting. Bat swarms have moved up, and our 2 remaining giant bats have both made it into combat, which we treat as a regular move to attack, and we'll roll the melee rolls. I'm using different dice for the monsters because I don't want to share my dice with them. So the green dice is their skill dice. It's a 9, 12, 18 on Egon, which will hit. Luckily, the power dice, which they hit with, was the low number, not the 9. So that'll be 3 damage, and then I will move 2 inches in a random direction. Random direction will be the point of the D10. So back towards this way. It says that when you take damage, you are immediately moved. So I assume that that is written and means that I do not have the opportunity to strike back. So we're going to go ahead and move me away and kind of stop gaps me. We'll go to the one attacking Boris. Not going to roll my dice, going to roll their dice. Should have rolled my dice. That's going to be 8 damage. Pushes me into the other bat. I don't think that would initiate another combat, but I'm honestly not sure. Let me know what you think in the comments about how you would play that. I'm just going to move forward because it doesn't give me any information with what to do. To me, where we're going to start with Doc, who's going to take a shot at this closest bat with his pistol. That's a hit, and 5 damage on the power dice. That is a kill. I'm going to move up to prepare to heal Boris. We'll go with Nikolai into the combat. That's a 9. What's his melee? 10. I'm going to use my skill dice from my fate pool here and hope for the best. Exact same. All right, that's about par for the course. We'll then get to swing back, crack back at me. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, but -1 because they're fatigued, so that does not hit me. Dimitri, our champion of faith, is going to move up and then heal 3 damage off of Boris with his miracle. Will move himself up on a successful sprint roll to be in a position to investigate that clue marker on the next turn, which we're going to right now. We're going to start with Doc, I think. Oh, Doc. And he is going to heal Boris for 2, giving up his movement, which will take Boris to 3 damage currently on him. Then we're going to go... I'm not entirely sure how to deal with this getting pushed into the bat situation, because at the end of combat you push, the attacker will step away an inch. And I'm not... I think it would be that I'm there, and then if I move, it would force the attack, is I think how that would go. So we are just going to go ahead and swing with Boris. Hope for the best. That is the best. That'll do it. That'll eliminate this bat and free me up to reload. Yeah, I'm not going to move. I'm just going to reload. He's going to activate and heal the 3 damage off of Egon. Will be my last activation for my bat swarms. Just fly up the table towards me. We're going to go with Grigory, who's going to investigate this clue marker. We get the 10 of spades. Finds a bejeweled crucifix, which will give him +1 experience at the end of the game if he survives. He will then move to attack the bat swarm. Griggs, let's go. 14 plus his melee of 2, which is 16, +1 power damage. They only have, I think, 2 or 3 health. They're not as strong as the giant bat. So that's a dead bat. We'll move and shoot at the bat swarm. That's a 14. It should be just a straight roll for him. No, he's still +1. So 14, 15 on the power dice, 6 damage. That is enough to kill a bat swarm. Dimitri will move and investigate the clue marker, where we get the Ace of Spades. It's a lonely gravestone. I gain 1 skill dice to my fate pool. Put for turn 2. So we're gonna get our Vrickalacus spawn, and we're gonna roll on the table. So there's our Vrickalacus that we got, and then there's the other one that we immediately rolled onto the table because we just looking to die. It's a random corner edge of the exit, edge of the table. I just did an even or odd, rolled a 4. That's where he landed. All right, so these things are terrifying. They do have allergies to fire, blessed, and silver, but they are also indefatigable. They are indestructible, so they ignore all damage that's not from one of their allergens. They have soul shear, so if they do damage at me, I have to take a terror check at minus whatever the damage was. And they have weakened by faith, which works in my favor because Dimitri does have silver weapon and a holy symbol, but I really don't think I want to put him into that situation. So my plan is going to be to get some weapons blessed up. Right now, Boris has torches, so fire. Nikolai has silver shot. Egon has nothing, so he needs a bless. Ivan has oil and a torch, so he's got fire. Dimitri has a silver weapon if worse comes to worse. Grigory has iron weapons, so I got to get him over for a bless. And then Mikhail has silver shot. So we're going to start with Grigory, who's going to move to this clue token and investigate. So from the deck of clues this time, we get the King of Spades. Rune inscribed bones, and add a power dice to our fate pool. Tree will move up and roll a 12 for his courage check to activate his miracle and bless the weapons of Grigory. I think I've got 2 turns before the Vrikalakas can actually get to me, so I should have time to bless these couple of weapons that I need to bless. Action of my first phase, Nikolai will move up 6 and reload one of his pistols that he fired. And since I didn't mention it earlier, and in case you're new to the game, when you play solo Silver Bayonet, the turn structure is a little bit different than regular Silver Bayonet. So you have player phase 1, where you activate half of your models rounded down, then you do all the monsters, then you do all of your guys that you have left. So that's all of my guys that I had for the first phase. So the Vrikos, which is what I'm going to call them now, are going to move their movement of 6 towards me, because they also have flying. Come to the rest of my actions, where I'm going to have Mikhail move up and take a shot. Well, I don't know. I think I can actually make that shot without moving, because, yeah, he's elevated at the moment. So, yeah, we're going to take the shot, then move. And he's got silver shot, so let's hope we do well. We do have a couple of fate dice. That's a 9, 10, 11, 11. I'm going to use one of the 2 power dice that I have in my fate pool. I mean, that gets me to a 12, which will hit because it reduces their armor by 1, but it's only for 3 damage. So Mikhail moves up and... not Mikhail. Egon moves up and lights a torch. Boris and Ivan sprint up the board. Boris passes his sprint roll. Ivan does not. And then we'll go and roll on the chart. A 7. We'll see what we get. This is a ghoul at a random point on a table edge. It doesn't say which table edge, so I rolled a D4, and I got this one, and then I rolled a D10 and a D8 together and added them, and then that's where I set it down. I rolled a 6 and a 4, so 10 inches in. Start with Mikhail. He's going to give up his movement to reload, and then send another shot at the Vriko. Much better. Much, much, much better. That's definitely a hit. That'll be for 9 damage with his silver shot. And that'll take it to 1 health remaining, or 2 health remaining. Okay, that went well. If I can knock 2 damage off of that thing, I think that I can get off the board without anybody dying a horrible, horrible death to that monstrosity. Next, it's going to have to be, I think, Nikolai. Yeah, Nikolai's got silver shot, so we need to get him up to where he can take a shot and potentially finish that thing. He's going to move up to where he is just barely within 8 inches to make sure that when that thing moves its 6, it can't get me. And we're going to take our shot. This will be at -2, so this is just straight dice roll. -1 for the mission, and -1 because I moved before shooting, so hurried shot. That is not even worth a reroll. Go ahead and have Dimitri try to throw a bless onto Mikhail. Or no, onto Egon. He does, so blessed shots here. Goes move up. Time for Egon to shine. Don't let us down, bro. We need this. Okay. I'm gonna re-roll this. No, because I would have to get a 9. No, I'd have to get an 8. Whatever, they're made to be used. We're gonna burn that power dice. I need this guy to go down before he just rips me a new one. Nope, that ain't gonna do it. That is not gonna do it. So with my remaining activations for the turn, Boris will sprint up. Ivan will move up 6 and light a torch. Grigory sprints over. He fails his sprint test, so he only moves 8, but that's where he lands. And then we'll go to see what we get on the chart. Terrified of this thing. A 3. That might not be too bad. Giant bat at a random point. That's where we rolled it. Same way as the other one. And then we get a gust of wind that's blowing towards this table edge, so I had to take speed checks, target number 15. Only Dimitri failed, luckily, so no other problems there. And we will wrap around to my turn. I was going to reload and take a shot. Actually, no. We're going to shoot here first, because he's got 2 pistols, so he's got another one ready to go. And we're going to take that shot. You got this, Cap. No, you don't. No, you do not got this. So that's a miss, and all his pistols are out. Mikhail reload and take a shot. See if he can finish what he started. He cannot. And we'll have Egon reload and take a shot. He cannot do anything. I will move to Boris and swing. Hopefully not too well. That's a 9, 10, 11. That's a miss. And then I'll crack back with my torch. See if I can smoke him. Nope, I cannot. Couldn't see anybody, so it moved to the clue marker, and second Brico moves to the top of that ridge. Let's move in and investigate that clue marker, getting the Jack of Spades. Tipped axe, so I count as having a silver weapon, melee, for the rest of this game. Next, we'll go with Dimitri, who's going to try to bless Doc's pistol. He does. And then he will move. We'll then take a shot at the Vrico. Oh man, that could have been good, but it wasn't. Move. And then Grigory is going to move to attack and see if we can get the job done here with his blessed axes. All right, Grigory, you got this, bro. 10, 11, 12. And fatigue token on it, that will get through because it drops their defense to 12. So that will be enough damage to finish off this Rico and open up the pathway a little bit better for us. For that turn, let's roll on the chart. A 5, geez, that's pretty bad. On an even for that edge. Even. Thank freaking goodness. There would be a strong chance that I was going to get blown off this freaking mountain. So I'm going to run through these tests. I'll let you know if anybody fails. Grigory is the only one who stumbles in the wind, moving 3 inches directly towards the northern table edge. And I did forget to move the giant bat during the monster phase, but there he is. Wrapping it back around to me, where we're going to activate these 3 guys first, and they're all 3 going to make sprints to make sure they are not in combat range of that thing. Again, when you sprint, it's a speed test, speed check, target number 11. So you roll your dice, you add your speed value, and then you go. For roll, you can move 10 inches. On a failed roll, you can move 8 inches. I'll end up bunched up right in there. We'll then have our flying monsters give chase. The ghoul is just sitting over there guarding that clue token. The rest of my activations. Right there, we end up with 2 on the chart, which is a gust of wind. Not as strong as the one that you would roll on a 5. It's just 2 inches, and luckily we rolled it again towards that northern table edge. And we did get another giant bat right there. Bringing it to my opening, and it's got to be these 3. I feel the most okay leaving him behind because he has a holy symbol, which means that is swinging worse at him than anybody else. Plus, he has a silver weapon and can crack back potentially efficiently. We got those 3 off. I did have to use my last fate dice, which was a skill dice, to re-roll to get that 9 right there to get him off, but he is off the table and for now safe. Let's do some monsters. This is the one that really matters. That is a 7 plus 2 minus 3. That is a miss. I get to crack back. Let me just crit this dude with some holy might. No, I miss. But at least he doesn't hit me. I don't do any damage. He doesn't do any damage. He backs off an inch, and then in the second half of my turn, everybody else can leave the board. We did it. We made it across the spine. I really wasn't sure. That was pretty terrifying. Those Ricos are 2 bonus XP in that game. I did not need them to get Mikhail or Boris to XP 18, which is a threshold. So they both got +1 to their accuracy. Everybody else just took their 1 XP, and I gave the bonuses to some of the lower end characters. But that, my friends, is going to do it for this game of the Silver Bayonet. Thanks so much for tuning in, hanging out. I hope you have an absolutely amazing rest of your day. And as always, I'd like to say a big, huge, from the bottom of my heart, thank you To our patrons who support us and pledge to us over on Patreon, you guys are the absolute best. If you enjoyed the content you saw here today and that's something that you would like to consider doing to help out the channel, go over there, check out the link in the description, check out the Patreon. There's a lot of cool stuff over there, including access to our Discord server. Talk to me, hang out with me, talk about our work, what we got going on in the hobby, some shout outs, all kinds of cool stuff. Check it out if that's something that you think you would be into. And regardless of whether or not you do that, I want you to know that I am incredibly grateful that you decided to stop by and spend part of your day with me today, rolling dice and pushing toy soldiers around. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and as always, may the dice be ever in your favor.